and I had an operation, and we played Blackburn on the Saturday, and I went out for a fitness test on the Friday, and because of the operation, I couldn't lift my arms above my head. And Rolsey was a physio, and he looked at me and went, "You go and tell the manager, I can't face him." You're playing Blackburn away. They've got 2 big centre forwards. They're going to lump it in the box. Coming for crosses is not. And he said, "You know that this is stronger than this."
Hello and welcome to Ironcast and welcome to an extra special episode, Coley. I'm very excited today. The guest we have over there is on my list of all-time West Ham players in goal. I think he's the best goalkeeper I've ever seen play for West Ham. 241 appearances in all competitions across a 6-year spell. Only 6 years, it feels a lot longer. A former England #1. And also, I'm going to say it, the best pundit on TV right now. Yeah. Former West Ham hero. Welcome back to London Stadium, Rob Green.
Thank you very much. You said 6 years. It felt like not longer than 6 years playing as well.
It always does, doesn't it?
I had to interview Nuno before one of the games here this season. Before we started filming, I said, being a player, he said, playing here feels like dog years. Emotionally, it takes so much out of you. And he looked at me, what? I had no idea how hard it is to be a manager here. It's such an emotional roller coaster. Yeah. It was just, and he looked at me and just went, "Yes, it is difficult." Right,
very different.
Yeah,
I was researching your career. That's 6 years. So much happens. What a roller coaster of you experience everything.
Yeah, it was one that you look back at, and it is a good description, dog years, because Collie, you just walk in some days, wouldn't you, into training and go, what's going to happen today? Like it was, EastEnders, a soap at times, the stuff that went on, the dramas, the how many takeovers did we had in that time? It's seemingly endless of sort of having untold wealth at one point and then having nothing.
Tevez Gate.
It was going out onto a pitch with just numbers covering up sponsors because the people painting the roof of the stand, the chicken run before a game because you're having having to wipe out the sponsors. There was so much that just now, like I was on the train on the way up here thinking back, going, there's too much. To talk about. You go, let's just go for the first 6 weeks. Yeah.
And you were England #1 in that time as well. You went to World Cups and Euros, and
it was such. Looking back now, you kind of think you wish you enjoyed it more.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you feel the same or you just
when you're
feel,
in that moment. Yeah. When you're in that moment, you don't realize it's special times because you're in it, and it doesn't feel like it's special times because it's just so much going on. But when you look back, you do feel a bit of, I wouldn't say regret, but you just think, you know what, I should have enjoyed it more and be a bit more light with it. Because you're the type of character, you're the type, you took everything on board.
Yeah.
Like when you talk about the roof, I didn't even know about the roof. Yeah. I saw what was in front of me, so I probably enjoyed it a little bit more than you did. Yeah. But you was more of an open, you looked at everything and think, this is a shambles, at the time. Because there was a period when it was.
You felt like you looking back, like saying you cared too much.
Yeah.
You're taking everything on. You took it personally. It does make it special. It does make it slightly bonkers, but at the same time, looking back now, it's a special time.
Yeah. Let's go from the beginning. So we signed you from Norwich. Norwich had been relegated. I think you were in the Championship around 2006 when you joined West Ham. Yeah. That Norwich team had struggled a little bit, but I always think, as a goalkeeper, if you're an up-and-coming goalkeeper, you almost want to be at a team that's struggling because you face a few shots, so you can get a reputation. Is
that the way you look at it?
I was thinking about. I was like, I've always thought had that thought at the back of my head, like you almost want to be up-and-coming goalkeeper at a struggling club.
You didn't think it at the time. You said, "Give me a club at the top of the Premier League. I'll take it."
We have a couple of defenders that can defend, please.
Yeah. There was seasons like that here as well. Yeah. Any help? Little help here. It was funny because I lived in Surrey growing up and left home and moved to Norwich, which was a big adventure at 16. Was there for 10 years, which from you change so much as a person from being 16 to 26. Just screaming out for something different. So to move back somewhere relatively close to home was great. Move back to London, the sort of feeling of anonymity within it all, rather than being within Norwich, the biggest club in the area by a million miles, and everyone is a football fan. You lived in that environment. To come back to that, but then you had the other side of things where you moved back to a place where, and Coley, you were up there as one of the characters, but the dressing room full of huge characters, and you're walking in as a lad who's just been, Norwich is a safe place, safe club, nice environment, and then you walk into something which was a bit of a Wild West,
definitely,
of stuff like that, and Pard's in charge of the club and stuff that was.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on, and
describing it as the Wild West. I love that.
You kind of just walking into something where I think coming from Norwich, where they've been broke, and then Delia had saved the club, and then building it back up from nothing to something to bigger and bigger, and getting success, and being the first club to really first team within Norwich to get success for quite a while. But it's still a small structure. It was still a small environment. You're doing press conferences with the local press and maybe one or two others. You sit down at West Ham one, and it's a room full of people.
Loads.
Because it's, the closest
and they're
club
not all your mates.
No, and it's the closest club to Fleet Street, that sort of thing. That sort of stuff. You walk into a training ground, and there's a lot of staff in a small space, and a lot of people with a lot of opinions, and so it's a real culture shift.
Yeah. One question on Norwich. Did you play in the game where Delia Smith came out at half-time and said, "Let's be having you"?
He was funny. Yeah.
That is legendary.
Yeah. I saw it today,
Did you?
My mate's an MP, and she's Labour MP, and battering the Tories, and they weren't in the backbenches, and then brought out. She did a social media post. It just said, "Where are you?
Where are you? Let's be having you."
Triggered something in my brain. That game.
It was Man City, wasn't it?
Man City at home. It was a Monday night game. And the story goes, and I can't categorize this, but Delia would be in a routine to go to a game where she'd turn up at lunchtime, have a lunch, have a drink, watch the game.
Yeah.
But it was a Monday, and it was an 8 o'clock kickoff.
So it was a long day.
Yeah, rather than a 3-hour lunch, it was an 8-hour lunch. It's
few more bottles of wine than usual.
Maybe that happened. I'm not sure. But what I do remember is sort of we went 2 up. We got back to 2-2. We're thinking, oh no, like we were struggling. We had a good chance. Manager sort of G'd us up at half time. We came out pumped for the second half, and we've all gone, right, let's just go. And it's not like now you'd run from the tunnel straight, and you're running, and Delia's there with the mic.
Wow.
And I'm nearly bowled her over, gone through her.
Get out of the way.
Yeah. So I just swerved there. I was like, what's going on? And you just turn around, there's 20,000
legendary.
What on earth?
That was a legendary moment.
Anyway, how many years? 10 years at Norwich, and that's the one thing you asked me about.
Yeah. You come in 2006, you describe it as the Wild West, but I mean, West Ham in 2006, they're on a massive, the crest of a wave, been to the FA Cup final, we're back in the Premier League and finished so highly. You join, Carlton joins, Carlos Tevez joins, Javier Mascherano joins, and it feels like, this club is really going somewhere, and we end up in a relegation battle that at times looked like we were definitely going to lose, and ended up in this huge triumph, which is the Great Escape. But in that summer of 2006, when you first joined, Rob, what was your sense of West Ham at that point?
I signed injured. I'd ruptured my groin playing for England in the build-up to the World Cup, and missed out on going to Germany. So I had sort of almost a little bit of a backseat going into that. And I knew the manager sort of signed me with the view to me playing, but obviously couldn't initially. Got myself into fitness, and I played a reserve team game, and he sort of made a note at the end of the game in front of everyone saying, "Well played, Rob." And I thought, I'm going to be in next game. We started to dip. I thought it was going to be a good time.
Because was it Roy Carroll?
Roy Carroll was playing.
And Jimmy Walker.
Jimmy was there. Xhaka had just left. Xhaka was the one who was playing at the end of the season, obviously in the FA Cup final played. We'd had the games against Palermo,
yes,
which we'd gone to, which went. We obviously, I think
we went over to Italy, didn't we?
We got absolutely turned over away from home, but played at home and should have won by 2 or 3, and
That's
then
when
lost.
I got cramp in the first half.
You got cramp.
Tell that story.
No, I'm not going to tell that story. That's for another day. I got cramp in the first half. I didn't know where I was. I think it was just anxiety.
How can you get
I was stressful.
I know. I was stressed.
Away from home. That was a stressful game.
It was so stressful.
Yeah, I remember.
The Sardinians going. That was wild. Jez, the doctor.
Yeah.
During the game, because I was sub. I'm coming into fitness and stuff, and I was sat there, and it was in the old Olympic stadiums that they have with the running track around,
and then the cages around it.
The cages, and Jez getting pelters from side, big guy, and he just went up to the cage, and started shaking. He's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?"
The team doctor. Jez is a different human being.
I just love West Ham. I just love it.
It's so West Ham.
Such a good club.
Because I've never seen anything like that. It was like he used to do things out of the box, didn't he?
Jez would do. He was a doctor in war zones for the UN and stuff like that. So I think
he wanted a bit of chaos. He loves chaos. He loves chaos.
Yeah.
He loves chaos.
That game was the one where we were warming up, and because the police decided it was best to herd, for want of a better word, the West Ham fans together and bring them into the stadium and walk them along the athletics track to the away section. And every time they did that, the noise was deafening, the whistling was deafening, and you know the West Ham fans were being sort of coaxed in. And then the next group would come in, and then at the front of the last group was Ray Winston with his shirt off, waving in front of everyone. You're just like, okay, this is surreal. I've been at the club about 3 weeks, so there you go, this is different.
What a club.
But you see that? See like how I tell his attention to detail? I didn't see Ray Winston. I was worried about how I'm going to play. Because it was me, Marlon, and Tevez. You were worried about getting cramp. You were warming up too hard. I was warming up too early, baby. Yeah, that's all it was. But it was me, Marlon, and Tevez up front that game. So I was just worried about that. And then I didn't really notice all of the crowd. Because I heard, looking back, when I've spoken to some fans that have gone into, and they was there at that Palermo game, they always say how hostile it was and the energy. But we lost, but they had a brilliant time. Like they loved it.
They came out as kindred spirits.
They loved it. It was amazing. That's what West Ham's about.
It was interesting. But I'm a goalkeeper. I've got to have a peripheral vision of everything. You're a striker. You've got the tunnel vision of where's the goal.
That's true.
So we go on a terrible run that season after Palermo, but then it comes together at the end in The Great Escape with Alan Kirbishley and like everyone playing so well. But I mean, the real heroics in a few of those games, and I'm thinking about the first team to defeat Arsenal at the Emirates. 1-0 Bobby Zamora, but really the action, let's face it, is down the other end. And Rob Green, you pull off one of the greatest goalkeeping performances of a generation.
Yeah.
You just weren't going to concede that day.
It was looking back now, that was funny. It got to the point.
It was comedic though, wasn't it? Because it was just like everything has been pelted at you and it's just not going in.
It got to the point where the Arsenal players were laughing on the pitch.
Who was it? Podolski and them boys.
I can't Freddie Lumber played. Yeah, Gilberto. I can't. There was big names playing. Adebayor played.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah,
that was it. Sorry, I got my times wrong.
I moved to the Isle of Dogs, and we were talking before about taking everything on emotionally and stuff like that. And this was a disaster. You're looking at a second relegation in 3 years for me personally. I was thinking, I've worked my life towards this.
Yeah. Now in the promised land.
You're back in the Premier, and it's being taken away from you again, and that sort of stuff. And you're worried about what's going to happen in the future. And I sat in my flat the night before that game. I sat in my flat on my own because we could go home and then report to the hotel, couldn't we?
Yeah.
And I just sat there and I just thought, you know what? Whatever happens, I'm going to be all right. I'm going to be okay. As a person, I'm going to be fine. And there's only probably 4 or 5 times in my career where I played carefree like not
Really?
worried.
Yeah.
And I remember I come for a cross in like the first minute and dropped it. And it just bounced on the floor and just picked it up.
Yeah,
no one near me.
That.
Yeah. And I went, well, that's it. That's my mistake for the day done. And that was it. And it just, and everything.
Went your way.
And the only regret, I have one regret about that game, was right at the end of the game, Cesc went to take a corner, Cesc Fabregas, and he crossed it in and I went, I'm coming for this. I'm coming. And I've caught it. And Big Jens Lehmann had come up for the corner and I looked and the goal was open.
You should have shot. You should have shot.
And just behind me, Jens went, please, Greenie, don't.
No way.
Yeah.
And you didn't. Out of respect. Out of respect.
Yeah.
I mean,
do you see what I'm trying to say about goalkeepers?
If you had capped off that performance by scoring,
partly out of respect,
on a half volley,
partly out of respect, partly of the half niggling bit in my mind is I'm going to smash this and hit you on the back of the head. And
I weren't playing. I weren't playing in that game. But
someone, it would have hit someone on the backside. I think gone in. But
mate, see how goalkeepers think. That's why I'm saying, look, see the goalkeeper. There's actually a thing called a goalkeeping community
unit, the goalkeepers union. They call it
union. Like they look after each other.
Yeah, there's the proof. Yeah. It's a conspiracy.
Like even little bits, like when we're in training and we try and lob you.
Oh yeah,
and then you catch the ball and you'll just go. Gone. Bang!
Yeah,
kick the ball down the other side of the pitch. Like, go and get it.
Go get it. Yeah,
like just things like that. I'm thinking, why'd you do that, Greenie? There's no need for that. That's violence.
I never scored. Never scored in my career. Never even got close.
Really?
Yeah, that was the closest I got.
You should have.
Thinking about it.
You should have.
Yeah,
should have done it. That would have been the icing
if you'd have scored that, that would have been the greatest individual
performance. What technique would you have gone for to get it up there?
Half volley.
Oh, I'd have had to half volley. It was hard. You just got to smash it.
Everything was going your way that day.
Yeah, I know. The other thing, the only other thing I remember from the game was the game ended and like their lads were laughing, just like what
kind of nonsense was this?
What could we do? And we were walking off at the end of the game, sort of obviously delighted. And Arsene Wenger was stood there shaking hands, diligent. And it was the first game they lost at the Emirates.
Yeah.
And it was April or something like that.
Yeah.
March,
April.
April.
It was April. It was April.
So they'd gone months without losing. And this fan ran down the terraces, down the stand, and threw his season ticket at Arsene Wenger.
Oh my gosh!
They'd lost one game, and in the game where you just
tells you all you need to know about Arsenal fans, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow!
Tells you all you need to know about Arsenal.
Try being a West Ham fan. Yeah.
Oh my God. There were more heroics as well, though, because we go to Old Trafford on the final day. I can't remember the exact maths. I think we go into it needing a point. We end up winning. With Carlos Tevez, but again, there's some miraculous saves that day too. Is that right at the end?
That was that. I loved that day. I loved I've been at Norwich, and we had to match everyone's results to stay up, and we lost 6-0 at Fulham because we went one down, and we went for it, and we just got battered. And I thought, there's no way that this is going to happen again. Things kind of worked for us a bit. United had won the title already.
Early on.
Curbs was mates with Sir Alex.
Yeah, wait.
Here we go.
The old school.
Yeah. I mean,
no, but it's not like they didn't try.
No, we got pumped. And it was. We were in a hotel before the game, weren't we? And Noel Edmonds was in the hotel.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
What
was that about?
He's a big West Ham fan, yeah.
It was at the Lowry.
Yeah, we're in the hotel, we're waiting, and everyone's sort of really, really nervous, like beyond nervous. There's silence. And Noel Edmonds is in the lift with us, and he's sitting there, and someone's quietly in the corner just gone, deal or no deal?
I think it was Matty Upson. Yeah. I think I was in
so he just turned around. He turned around and went, you boys better win today. And everyone just went, oh, yeah, okay.
That's really...
Mate, I'm telling you, this is the type of banter that we used to have, mate. It's just nonsense.
And we went 1-up in the first half. Yossi saved one on the line, didn't he? Like leapt to about 8 foot. And Eddie it onto the bar. And my lasting memory was two things. Coming out in front of the Stretford end, and the whole they obviously don't like West Ham. Was it when Blackburn won the league, Ludo pulled out performance of a lifetime, and all that sort of stuff.
Got to be in the bonnet with us.
And they just hold the Stretford end. And Old Trafford's rubbish for atmosphere. It's really poor. But it's the one time I've properly heard it in unison, and they just send them down. I was like, not today. Not today. That's not going to happen. And then. Yeah, getting through you just count down the minutes.
Well, we got through the game, and then obviously Tevez gets that defining goal.
Yeah,
and you're thinking, it's our day. How have we done this? But meanwhile, a few other results had come our way.
Wigan, Sheffield United, wasn't it?
It got in our way. So it was like, but we didn't know that.
Everyone on the bench knew that. Well of a time.
We knew that, but you guys on the pitch didn't know.
Yeah.
So it was like, and I was like, what? Seriously? Oh, cool. Go on, lads. I was thinking, in the Premier League next season. Well, you lot would still go for it.
Well, with about 20 minutes to go, they brought on Scholes, Ronaldo. Okay, this is going to be a long 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And there was a point where the ball, they had a cross, it hit deflection, stuff looped up in the air. He was hammering down with rain and everything. And everyone's soaked, and you're thinking, oh, my gloves, I'm going to be in like this. And the ball's looped right under the crossbar. I thought, oh, no. And James Collins is there. Ginger's there. I just heard him go, please catch it, really. And I've just caught it, fell on the floor. Yeah, he's just like, oh, thank God for that. You just hear people almost crying on the pitch.
Oh, gosh.
And it's just the sheer relief at the end of that. They gave us bottles of champagne, didn't they, in the dressing room?
It was, it was an amazing time in the dressing room afterwards, because they had the Champions champagne. I think I nicked a bottle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think I've still got it. And I put it up on my trophy cabinet. I ain't got one of them, by the way. Yeah.
Some more of a drinks cabinet.
Some more of a drinks one, but I put it on the trophy cabinet. And it's there. And I was thinking, where'd that come from? I've forgotten it's actually from there. You've just reminded me.
Yeah. It was such a, I think you looked at Curbs at the end of the game. Curbs was just like a man just beaten by life. Like just drained. He's been in charge of Charlton, which is a bit like, I put Charlton closer to Norwich in terms of a steady ship. They knew what they were doing. Yeah. He was there a long time. Everything had a plan. He was in control. And to this, I think his line was he let the lunatics run the asylum, because we never. You think that wonderful run we went on. There was a point.
He didn't really do much, did he?
He said that. He said that when he sat on that chair a few weeks ago.
Yeah, there was a point where, at the point in the season, he just went, right, boys, what do you want to do? And the lads went 5-a-sides.
Yeah.
So we just do 5-a-sides every day and go out and play.
Yeah.
And
went out on a few nights. Night outs and that. My Christmas party was interesting.
Yeah, there was a few interesting moments like that. But I remember him doing a tactical session. I think we were about to play Wigan, and he tried to do a tactical session. The lads looked at him, and they were so perplexed as to what he put on that he just went, forget it. I've tried tactics. And he was so basic. We were just like, okay, if you go forwards, back, and through, you're going to get through. Let's do something like that. And lads were like, why is it not a 5-a-side? Well, he did. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, I remember, because he was just trying to get the morale of the team. Everyone just wanted everyone to be happy. And it does get to a point like that, doesn't it? When you're not going you're going for a bad patch, and the manager has to find a way to keep the team like relatively happy, even though you're going through something really bad. Do you know what I mean? And that is their job. You got to try and keep the spirits up, because you got to have that buy-in.
That literally had to manage.
Yeah.
And I think it did someone like Carlos Tevez a favour.
Yeah.
He used to walk out on a Friday, didn't even do his boots up.
Yeah.
You say, right, set pieces, practice set pieces. Carlos, go and stand on the halfway line.
Yeah.
Okay. And that was it. That's all he'd do. And he'd go out and play like a demon on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And I just think for that group, it was a wonderfully talented group in a sense, and it was finding that key to unlock it again. That had happened. I know it evolved since the year before, but finding that way of it to work again was the key to success of
staying up,
relative success of winning. Was it 7-9 or something like that? Yeah.
Amazing. Rob, from the 2007 start that season onwards, for the following 4 years, Coley, guess how many games Rob missed in goal, league games, the following 4 years?
None.
One game across the following 4 years. So you were ever present.
Yeah.
Right. Unbelievable run.
Yeah.
Is that the one game I missed? Was Blackburn away?
Yeah, 2010, 2011 season, I think it is.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's an amazing achievement.
Like
that game, that one game I missed, I ruptured. I was talking about rupturing my groin. I ruptured that groin, and I had an operation where they put effectively a hook in my groin to reattach into the bone, and you reattach the muscles. And what I didn't know, no one knew, was that there was an infection within the operation inside.
I remember this. Yeah,
and this lump had grown, and it looked like a hernia. And it grew and grew and got more and more painful. And I was playing with it for years. Yeah. And I went, I've got to get this seen to. This is So they operated, and they said, we didn't find a hernia. We found this infection. I was like, wow. This is weird. And they pulled out what was 6 inches of solid worm-like, like a snake infection out of me. Sew me back up. Off you go. Fine. And it never healed. And so it was like it was pussy and green and just stuff coming out of this scar for weeks and weeks.
Oh my
this
God.
is right. And I had an operation. I went, I can't carry on like this. This is like just pouring out me. And on the Monday, they went, well, this has got to be done. They went back in, cut me open, pulled out more infections, sewed me back up again. And we played Blackburn on the Saturday. And I went out for a fitness test on the Friday.
This is good.
I was under a general
He just had an op.
He was under surgery on the Monday.
General anaesthetic on the Monday.
Mate, this is what
fitness test on the Friday. And because of the operation, I couldn't lift my arms above my head. And David Coles was the goalkeeper coach, and went, it was snowing. It was about -2. And he went, this is utter madness. What are we doing? And I walked in, and I went, I can't lift my arms above my head. And Rolsey was a physio, and he looked at me and went,
okay, then.
No, he said, you go and tell the manager. I can't face him.
I can't do it.
So I had to walk in to Avram Grant, and I said, boss, boss,
I've just had an op.
Yeah, I was on a general anaesthetic 3 days ago. I can't lift my arms above my head. You're playing Blackburn away. They've got 2 big centre forwards. They're going to lump it in the box. Coming for crosses is not. And he said, you know that this is stronger than this. Right.
Wait a minute. Is that what it was said?
Yeah.
No way. I didn't know that.
Oh
my days.
I said, I'm not playing. I walked out. I said, I'm not playing. He tried to convince me to travel and have a fitness test on the Saturday. And that was the one game I missed in all those years. It was I
think I remember that week though, because I remember you had something and you didn't actually no one knew what was going wrong. So it was quite hush-hush, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Of course, you're in England squad throughout that whole time you were at West Ham, 2006 to 2012.
Not in 2008 when we didn't qualify for Euros.
Oh, no. Did Steve McLaren not pick you? Steve McLaren, okay.
No. Anyone but you, Rob.
Sven, Fabio, Roy Hodgson all did it, and Coley, you're in and out of those squads as well. But what I was thinking, like looking back on what Gareth Southgate was able to achieve with England, do you actually look back on that period and think like it was a bit of a missed opportunity? Did England lack some of the things that Southgate later brought in?
Yeah.
God, do you want more time to think about it?
Yeah.
Well,
he brought it together.
Well, me and you were playing, so there's a big red flag.
That's what I'm saying.
We played in Netherlands. We played the Netherlands in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
And
we were 2-0 down, weren't we?
We were getting pumped, and it was just. I remember standing on the pitch with you after the game. And Coley had been unplayable against the Netherlands. Why do you do that every week?
I remember him asking me that. He looked at me like confused, like, mate, what the hell was that? Where's this? Who's this person?
You can play
I only do it when I put the English shirt on, mate. I only do it when I put the English shirt on. No, it was an amazing. That was an amazing game. But yeah, the England setup. Let's go back to why I think.
Yeah.
What we were missing, in the England setup.
Unity.
It was a bit of division in the camp. You can feel it as soon as you walk in. Like whatever you had going on, rivalry that you had going on off in the Premier League
was there in the dressing room.
It'd be brought in, but subconsciously, not like they wanted to come in. I'm not going to go and sit with him on purpose, or there'll be that little division, and you can feel it because you can see it, and everyone goes in their little cliques. Would you call them?
Well, I don't know. I was in a clique of one because I was just sat on my own as West Ham player.
Yeah.
He's like...
Yeah, I didn't sit with him.
Yeah. he was reading
the Financial Times all the time, geez. Like,
Chelsea Old Boys table. Yeah.
On the Chelsea Old Boys.
Just reminiscing.
Good old days, yeah. I remember playing
with you, like, yeah. What, you like Champions League now? Oh, cool.
No, it was a revelation when, to me, there was an interview done with Frank, Rio, Stevie G, I think, on TV where they all got interviewed together. And I'd not seen this up until a few weeks later. And I watched it. And I thought, you know what? And this is symptomatic of where we were at the time. Up until that point, I thought this was all my fault.
Really?
Because there wasn't that communication within the group of anything that really went on. There wasn't the communication between stakeholders within the group, different parties within the group, that because you weren't part of the group that weren't taking part as a group, if that makes sense.
Yes.
You didn't know it was really going on. I didn't. I thought everyone was just ignoring me because I was reading the Financial Times, but or something like that.
Yeah, but no, I definitely wasn't.
It was
more to it.
But I joined. I went with England for the first time in 2004 when I was at Norwich, and it was the same then with a different group of players. I sat with Gareth Southgate because he was an Aston Villa player and there weren't any other Aston
I imagine
Villa
he
players.
might have read the Financial Times as well.
And someone who didn't read the Financial was Wayne Rooney. It was his first thing.
Right.
So it was his first squad when we played Sweden away. But it was there then. But it was a different group of players. You had the Manchester United players who were there, who clearly, and then it changed to Chelsea and Liverpool. And
it became more dominant.
And so it was a real, I mean, it's a crime to say it was a shame.
Yeah.
There was a real chance there. There was a real chance there to make something. But what didn't help as well, I would say, I know, look, he gave me my first call up and that, but Capello made it quite difficult to even gel because we weren't allowed. We was always in the hotel. We weren't allowed to go. Once in a while, we'd go and play golf because we was actually staying at the Grove. Once in a while, but I don't play golf. Do you know what I mean? So I couldn't
caddy for the day.
So I wouldn't be able to like communicate with, say, a Stevie G from up north or whoever I needed to. So there was never that bond, and we weren't allowed to go cinema or we weren't allowed to leave the compound. We weren't allowed to leave. We was just always in the hotel, in the room, and all we were doing is playing computer.
And speaking
Xbox,
lack of
you probably wasn't doing that, but that's what we were doing.
And speaking of lack of communication, from what I've read, Capello didn't tell you were going to be England's #1 at the 2010 World Cup until the day before the USA game.
No, 2 hours before kickoff.
2 hours before kickoff, you knew you were
before leaving for the hotel.
So I mean, I know you made a mistake in that game, but I mean, what kind of preparation is that for?
Accelerated. Yeah, right. Okay, I've got to do a day's prep in the next half hour.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that whole World Cup experience then was difficult because, much like Coley was saying, you were staying in purposely chosen facility where it had the hotel, the pitches next to the hotel, and nothing.
Yeah,
for miles, and
just the golf course behind.
That was a drive away. And we said, "So what can we do?" He said, "Oh, can we go for a walk?" He said, "No, don't leave the compound." I said, "Why? Is it the press?" He said, "No, the wildlife will get you." the local the animals
The
that
deers.
are floating around.
The deers.
Deers,
The badgers.
It was it wasn't some foxes going through some bins, put it that way. And so we went in that World Cup. We went out. One of the trips, we had 2 trips, didn't we? One of them was up to the mountains in Austria or something like that. We think, what are we doing here? Why have we just picked the most isolated?
He didn't trust us. He didn't trust us.
He just had a series of teams that Capello had taken to this one camp.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, you've done this before.
Yeah.
This
is what he is.
Yeah, this is it. This is your route to success that you've had in your career. Therefore, you're going to follow this same path, and it automatically leads to a different. It automatically leads to success when it hadn't. It's just football had changed so much, and stuff had changed, and so I think the biggest, not the biggest regret, was under Steve McLaren was not having the opportunity to play, because that was when I was playing my best football.
Yeah.
And so you're saying, I was involved with England for 10 years and didn't get enough caps because in the middle of it, when I was playing my best football, I wasn't being picked. And you're thinking, pick people when they're doing their best.
Yeah.
And when they're in the prime and so it was a real, that was tougher to take than probably anything else. Like what happens in a game happens in a game. Well, you go out and you do the best you can. You do the best you can. But to not get picked when you're actually playing your best is kind of criminal.
Man, and Scott Carson's in goal for that game against Croatia. How many of those goals would you have conceded? I think you're keeping a clean sheet.
But again, it's someone who's a rabbit in the headlights. Hadn't played the game before, been brought in.
The preparation. It's just the preparation.
Yeah, it's not. It's so much. Looking back at it, was kind of was best intentions at the time, but realistically, so far.
But when I look now, if we did have that unity and we did have that. What Gareth Southgate's built, actually, that togetherness and just having the trust of the players. Because the players will give it back to you. I think, but he didn't trust that we would be good. But then it didn't help when you've got the press as well was a real concern for him. I think where if we got out of hand on England camp, he'd see it as his fault. So he didn't give us that freedom. To even go and see family or, do you know what I mean, on a day off. We weren't allowed to do anything. I think we had to just stay in the hotel.
I think in comparison to Gareth Southgate's England, the wonderful, the opportunities he created to create something bigger than the team was key. We never created anything that was bigger than the club teams in amongst the squad.
Yeah.
He created something that was bigger than football.
Yeah.
And so that, that is a real cohesive power to bring a greater good to a group is something that psychologically transcends any individual.
It does.
Where we had individuals playing in the team that wasn't even the same part of the same team.
And they were world class as well. Yeah. Individuals, loads of big egos. I remember the squad when David Beckham returned. They made a massive hoo-ha about that squad because David Beckham's in there. And it was all about David Beckham. When really
23 others.
Yeah, but we've got loads of other players there. What about us? You know what I mean? So it's just things like that where Capello brought him back in and Capello knew he was going to bring him back in, but maybe there was a reason why he done that, to take a bit of heat off him of something else. So there's always that tactical thing that England brought. It wasn't just football. It was just everything around it.
If you've ever watched the comedy, the thick of it, and where you've got the parliamentary sort of body that are just absolutely paranoid about how everything's going. That was the FA.
That was England.
That was England. And the FA. They were just
oh my God, how's this going to look? Even like the foundation as well. The foundation, when we used to go to do stuff in the foundation and that, and then everything had to be prim and proper. I remember I went with Scott Parker to I can't remember, it was to a school or something like that.
Yeah.
And just the organisation was just like, well, it's got to look like this. You wearing collars? Like, your collar. I was like, I like a round neck. He goes, no, you got to wear the collar. I'm like, what? Like, this is just like, it's bonkers. It's not actual, it's not football. I've come here to play football. I'm doing all of this. Fair enough, I'll do it. But the way I'm dressing, if I'm wearing a collared shirt or not, like, what's that about? It's just too much detail. And that's where you could never get a bond like that. It's just too prim and proper, you know what I mean? You just want to be relaxed. And I think that's what the boys are getting now. They're just relaxed.
Yeah.
I see some of them turning up in their own gear.
Yeah.
We could never do that. We had to wear the England tracksuit to turn up to camp. We had to wear the England camp. Wherever you were in the country and you're coming back, you had to wear your England tracksuit. So it's just
different times.
It's different times, man.
Yeah. Moving back to West Ham, Rob. So 2011, we have the heartbreak under Avram. I was there at Wigan when we went 2-0 up. It's like, the comeback's on. We're actually going to do it. We ended up heartbreaking, losing 3-2. The summer of 2011, it just feels like the club is broken. We need a direction, and that direction is provided by Big Sam, who comes in with Kevin Nolan, and this is the start of a rebirth of West Ham. But what was that summer like for you, Rob, as Big Sam came in?
I was so upset. I was heartbroken at how that season had gone. That summer was a blur. That summer just went. You go through everything you can, and I appreciate fans say we're the ones that are there. We're left carrying it. This is your life. This was my life. This is everything I'd ever known. Everything I ever ate, slept, looked towards, did anything towards was being the best I could on a Saturday. And you felt like that was being massively hindered. And so for there, then, like I said, to find something in terms of some sort of challenge to cling on to was a real difficult moment. I think that summer, having the World Cup, then having a really bad season, then Big Sam coming in and trying to have some honest conversations with me, saying you should retire from international football, you shouldn't do this, you should do that. Right. Did you watch us last season? Did you watch our games? Did you see what happened or didn't happen? I said, you gotta watch me play first. You gotta understand what I'm about and who I am as a person. And I think it took him aback a bit. In true Big Sam way, just laughed at me and just showed me out the door, sort of thing, and thought, "Wow, he's a confident boy." I was like, "There's not so much confidence; it's anger." This is, and I reckon I played for a year angry, and because
Sam was like that. He'd come in and he thinks he's got the picture already.
Yeah, I know you.
Yeah, I know what you're about because when Sam first come in, he wanted to get rid of me straight away. Straight away, because he thought I was a bad egg because he heard about the Baby Bentley boys, knowing that he didn't know that I was not even part of it because I didn't have a Bentley.
You had a Ferrari.
Well, we're not going into that one. I only had that for a couple of days, and then for a couple of days. But that was the scenario, and he thought obviously we got relegated, and then he came in and he wanted to clean it up, and that was fair enough. That's what you do, but he got it wrong about me. Then he realised that I wasn't that bad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He tried.
I
was bad, but I wasn't that bad.
He tried to get rid of you a few times after that, didn't you? But I think you carried on playing for years.
Yeah. That's me and him's got a love-hate relationship.
He did, I think, as good as job as he could reintegrating a group, finding something within there, some semblance, whilst instilling his own style, his own way of being a manager. I think having someone like Nobby, Kevin Nolan, alongside him within the dressing room was probably
massive.
Not as much a masterstroke, but essential, like you say, massive. And it kind of, you say the year in the Championship was kind of one that you felt almost underlined what West Ham was about. in that you went everywhere and you realised how much everyone hated you.
Especially in that league as well.
You go to that league, you turn
them.
up, and there's 5,000
Big
West
time,
Ham fans, and they're like, "Oh, here they come!"
But the West Ham fans were loving it.
Yeah.
They were loving it.
And there was some, there's some brilliant. I got sent off at Blackpool.
Yeah, Henry Lansbury.
Henry Lansbury went and I got a standing ovation for getting sent off by half the ground was full of. It was empty. The Blackpool. I said Blackpool End. It was their home game. It just felt like it was a home game for us. It was standing ovation for getting sent off. Yeah.
4-0.
There's some real. There was some like in that championship season. There's some real difficult moments, but that's the beauty of the championship. You end up with that success at the end of it is kind of going to Wembley. Yeah. Cardiff in the playoffs was
that
fun.
Was a good game.
That was fun.
Yeah. Battered them. It was the least stressful playoff game I've ever witnessed.
The away game, you weren't in goal in front of a bunch of Welsh people in it for the first leg, where you're under the pressure for 20 minutes.
Forget that he has to endure some real hate sent towards
you. Bearing the brunt.
You've got to be a certain character to be able to hold that on your shoulders.
For those years, the West Ham fans were unbelievable, were wonderful to me, and that was probably. Whilst playing angry was probably the underriding thing. It was you turning up going, I owe it to the people in the dressing room and I owe it to the people in the stand to go, this needs to happen. This needs to happen to put right the wrongs, and I think I probably enjoyed that Cardiff semi-final, especially the second one, because it was a walkover. More than the final.
Final was intense, man.
Not as intense as the ones later on in my career. That was QPR. But it was. I always knew we were going to win that.
The playoff final.
It's kind of like we just needed to turn up. But we didn't. That was the problem. That's what made it intense within the game.
We watched it back and did another commentary on that 2012 playoff final, and it's actually way more one-sided than I remembered. We clearly deserved to win. I remember it being a bit more even, but they
had some particular chances that I thought, well, if that would have gone in, we wouldn't be here. But I think that's half of the problem because.
But that's the playoff final, isn't it?
That was the playoff final, so it could have been anyway, and then we could have been the ones on the losing end, and that wouldn't have been good for us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we couldn't afford to lose that year, could we?
It felt, when I heard that Blackpool hadn't sold all their tickets, you can't walk out as a Blackpool player, see a half-empty stand at one end at Wembley,
be inspired,
and then see just a... Yeah, you could have sold Wembley out 3 times.
There was quite a few West Ham fans in the Blackpool.
Oh, I know. I remember standing there, and there was probably about 50 up there from where I was stood in the second half, cheering, and you could hear them. You could hear the 50 voices. That was it, because there was nothing else going on behind. But it was Ricardo Vazquez who scored the winner. He turned to us and said, "Do you think we'll sell a relegation for Wembley?" And he just went, "Mate, you got no idea." You could still be building Wembley now.
He had another tier on it.
He didn't have a clue, did he?
No.
Where did he come from? Barnsley.
Barnsley.
So he's come from Barnsley to this, and he's thinking. But he hit the floor running, did he, Vazquez?
Big Sam knew players. He knew he'd had him before at Bolton, hadn't he? And he knew boys that went, I tell you what, they'll do a job. They'll do a job for now. And that's what you had. You had a team in the end.
O'Brien.
Joey coming in. And he
used to treat them differently to us lot.
What, the new ones coming in?
Yeah, he used to treat
arm
them
around the shoulder.
No, just had a different relationships. Like, I'm not sure how I can describe it. It's like, you're only here because of me kind of thing, kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, really? I've sorted you out.
I sorted you out. Get on with it. And he used to shout at them differently to he used to shout at us. It was weird. It's like they was his kids.
They really owed him.
Abdul Fai.
Oh my, that relationship as well.
Yeah, it was just an odd relationship.
It's an odd relationship.
I have no idea how this is working, but it's working.
But all of those ingredients, that's how you knew that we'd be all right, because we had some strong players. Papa as well.
Yeah.
God rest his soul. But he had an odd relationship with Sam as well. It was all weird, but it worked.
It somehow came together and worked. And that turned out to be your final game for West Ham, Rob. I remember that summer it was in the paper like, Rob Green's going to leave on a free transfer. And I was like, it can't be true. Like after the heroics of staying with West Ham in that championship season, it just felt impossible to me that you would go. And in the end, you did go. You went to QPR. I honestly think it's one of the most heartbreaking transfers of my time as a West Ham fan, because I just felt like that was your position. You'd become like Ludo. Eventually became like. You just settled that position. The fans love you. They trusted you. You turn up every game and that's the first name on the team sheet. Yeah. I would actually say the goalkeeper position wasn't really settled then until Fabianski came in. Yeah. What would that have been?
I hadn't replaced you for that long.
Like years later, we were in the goalkeeping wilderness.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
But I wanted you to stay so bad.
Yeah, it was something that I'd already made my mind up. And I didn't know where the opportunity was going to be in terms of, but you look at how long I was at Norwich for. In the first team, I was there for 6 years, played 240 something games.
Cool, blimey.
I was at West Ham. I was there for 6 years, played 240 something games. There must be something psychologically in me to say,
it's time.
Okay, where's the next challenge? Where's the challenge to come in? The way, being, they're talking about playing angry, being heartbroken.
Yeah.
I think that added to it. And it's not like I wouldn't be in goal now. It's not going to be forever, and perhaps it's leaving on that high, leaving the ship being in a better state.
Yeah.
That position being in a better state, then it's a better place to be leaving than hanging around.
Rob, thank you so much for your time. I've loved going back through your career. Like, it was such a fun time to be a West Ham fan. And thank you, Coley. And thank you for listening. We'll see you next time on Ironcast. Until then, come on, you Irons.